I had a mentor in my life and someone I really looked up to. And so I went to them and I was like, you know what? I know what I want to be. I want to be an astronomer. And they looked at me and they said, astronomers are blankety blanks. And they're definitely blanks. You don't want to be no astronomer. And I said, and so my dreams are crushed, but for all you Calvinists out there that are watching, I wouldn't be here today if that wasn't spoken. And so, you know, God knew that would be spoken, and it would change my path forever. No, but, so I love science, I love that kind of stuff. And I was watching a documentary this week. Monday's my day off. And so I just vegged out that day and I watched, it was a movie and it was about how the universe was created. And there's a scientist right now, his name's Stephen Hawking. And he's one of the greatest astronomers or physicist, and also something other famous about universe stuff. And
theoretical physicist.
Yes, a theoretical physicist. And so he's extremely popular right now. And so I was digging his video, and at the beginning, it starts at the very, and I'm going to try to go through this really quick, so stay with me. If I lose you, that's okay, but this isn't the main focus. But I want to share the scientific view because I found it amazed me that it ties exactly into what God says. And so he ties and he says, hey, we live on Earth, and then there's the sun, and I'm like, yes. And then there's these 8 planets within our solar system. Well, we know we're in the Milky Way galaxy. Well, there are billions of solar systems, just like ours, within the galaxy. Well, different than ours, within our galaxy. And then there are billions and billions of galaxies that exist apart from our galaxy. And so then they say there are so many galaxies that they have clusters of these galaxies now. And so if I had a sponge right now, I would show it to you. Imagine a sponge. You know what a sponge looks like. But there are so many galaxies, when they cluster up, they look like a sponge, and they have this awesome virtual reality type thing that you can see all these. And the holes within the sponge is sort of just the space in between the clusters of galaxies. Well, Stephen Hawking, he says, well, these galaxies, there's this astronomical phenomenon, and it's called redshift. And so we can look at these galaxies, and they have a red tint to them. And so what redshift means is that it has to do with wavelengths, but not to get deep into that because I don't know it anyway. But things that move away, they're moving away from each other, have a red tint to them. But when they're coming closer together, they have a blue tint. And so all the galaxies have this red tint. So Stephen Hawking, genius, says, well, we can reverse this process and bring everything back to one single point. And this one single point, he says that this was the creation. And he says that this was before time and space began. It's really hard to understand. And we don't know what was in this. And he said that it was probably smaller than an atom. But somehow, some way, whatever was in this, that they don't know what it is, somehow energy just started expanding, and then boom, the Big Bang Theory. Just so you guys know, Stephen Hawking's about to make a cameo on the Big Bang Theory, the show. So if you guys like that, go check that out. But yeah, and so I was watching that, and I was like, well, that's awesome, Stephen. I believe all of that. And then I sat there, and I was like, so where did this come from, this little piece? I don't understand that part. Where did this come from? And he just stopped and just said that's what it was. But what I thought was, man, this ties exactly into what the Bible says. This is exactly it. Stephen Hawking, an atheist, verified what the Bible says and how God said it all began. So I wanted to share the scientific view, what we're looking at right now.